hello and welcome to Guitar Gear Gyan with me, Sahil Jaktiani, where we talk about all things related to the Indian guitar gear scene. And today I am going to share with you on how I pack my guitars. This is a sort of a tech tip video. Recently I had a bass guitar sent to me that was packed horribly. And instead of cribbing about it and complaining about it, I just thought, let me make a video in which I showcase how you can pack a guitar and send it across the country safely. Okay. In today's situation, I have an electric guitar that needs to get to the northeast area of India. It's going to be picked up by delivery. It's going to a guitarist by the name of Shemfaith. So I want to make sure that the packaging is perfect. And for this, I've got two types of tape, transparent tape, I've got brown tape, and I've got a pair of scissors. I've got a lot of bubble wrap. I've also got a guitar kind of like a cover which comes with a guitar with new guitars. So I'm going to do the bubble wrapping, put that, put this guitar in that and then put it into the, the gig bag. And then for the outer protection, I have a simple acoustic guitar box. Okay, I usually would double box a guitar, but it's already quite big and there's padding, so it just needs one more outer solid box. But to further protect that, I am going to do around about maybe 3 rounds of bubble wrap or 4 rounds of bubble wrap on the box itself. So there's going to be at least 7 layers of bubble wrap on this guitar, including the outer box and of course the outer bag and the gig bag itself. So let's get to it. Step 1, I'm going to loosen the strings slightly. A lot of people, they completely slacken the strings. I don't believe in doing that. I just have a little slack. That's okay. Now some people, when they're sending across guitars in a hard case, they just leave it at full tension. That's fine. That's not a big deal. But when it's not in a hard case, I like to have it slightly slackened. And to protect the frets, although these are stainless steel frets, they don't need protecting, I'm going to put 2 pieces of A4 size paper, cut in half, and I'm going to protect the frets. Then I'm going to get to packing the headstock and the neck and the body. But first, let me just show you how I've packed up the strings and how I've packed up the switch tip. So as you can see, I've put some bubble wrap and I put a little bit of thermocol underneath. It's not thermocol, is it? It's kind of a foam. And I've put tape on top of that. There is going to be bubble wrap coming on top of the whole guitar later. I wanted to just show you a single A4 sheet of paper cut in half, how you can do that. Slide it through the strings, okay? Put it underneath, fold it like that, and voila, it's done. Let's do the same. Like that, and like that. There you go. You can put a little bit of tape just to hold it in place, okay? Let me do that. I mean, this kind of tape is not ideal for this, but it'll do. Okay, like that. Put that underneath. All right, there you go. Now the strings will not bang against the frets during shipping, so that basically provides that extra protection. Now I'm going to get to doing the headstock. I'm going to really wrap the headstock up a lot because that is the most vulnerable point for me on a guitar. So I'm going to make sure that's properly packed up, then the neck, then the body. Let's get to it. So I've got a single wrap of bubble wrap that basically goes around the neck about 3 times. And I've got the extra bubble wrap. I'm just going to tie it across over there. I'm going to do one more round of bubble wrap on this, so it's very, very secure. Okay, I think the neck, maybe I'll put one more round of bubble wrap just to be extra secure on this also as well. Okay, so as you can see, it's basically now 4 to 5 rounds of bubble wrap on top of the neck and on the headstock. Let me just show you there's a lot of bubble wrap. So I really don't need to put more on that side, but let me just tape this up so that the wrap stays in place. It's important that when you're putting bubble wrap on the neck and on the body, it's good to use clear tape, because the person who's removing it with a pair of scissors needs to know where he's cutting. Otherwise, if it's brown tape over here, he's basically gonna, scratch up the guitar while removing this. So make sure that you use transparent tape when you're putting the bubble wrap on the body itself, so that the guy can easily maneuver while cutting it out. Okay, now I'm gonna get some tape to basically use on the body and cover the body up properly. So luckily I have a little bit of bubble wrap which I'm going to use on the body. Okay, so you can see I've put around about 3 to 4 layers of bubble wrap on the whole body. I've added some extra padding over here at the bottom just to protect it. And you want the bubble wrap to go over the entire neck and the base of the neck. Now, over here I'm seeing a little bit of an opening. So I've taken some more single bubble wrap and I'm going to basically close it up to make sure that there is no air or nothing can get through into that area. Okay, so you've got to make sure that whenever you pack up, there are no open spots anywhere on the guitar. Okay, so she's solidly closed up now. As you can see from all angles, beautifully packed up. Now I'm going to put her in that guitar cover and then into the case. Alright, so the guitar is in this kind of a plastic wrap, light foam bag. And it's been covered up nicely, and there was a little bit on the top which is causing me a little bit of a problem right now. I sort of folded it over to protect the headstock, but in actual fact it's causing the gig bag not to close so easily. But I am going to close it up, and now I think there's about 5 to 6 layers of protection inside this gig bag. Okay, so, well, yeah, 5 layers of protection. So that's pretty darn good. Okay, then you've got another layer of protection with the gig bag itself. So that's 6 to 7 layers. Okay. Now I'm just going to close up this gig bag as best as I can. I have, of course, kept I think there was a manual that came with it. There wasn't any Allen wrench, but I will still put in an Allen wrench for good measure into the pouch over here. You always want to be putting the Allen wrenches, and if it's a tremolo style guitar, you do want to put the trem arm inside over here. Certain people also take out the switch tips and put them in. That's also fine. I just think with this guitar, it's not a big deal. I think it'll be fine. It's well constructed. It's pretty solid. Gibsons, generally I would remove those. So yeah, so let's get the acoustic guitar box now. Put the guitar in and see how much padding I need to make sure that the guitar doesn't move inside the box. Okay, so she's in the box. And I've put some foam at the bottom here because I'm just a little scared sometimes about the way they, put the packages on the floor. And I put this just to keep it wedged into one corner. I don't want it to move at all. It's not going to move. I also found these Amazon bottle holders. Just going to open them up a little bit and just put a small level of protection, one more layer of cardboard. That's all on the sides. The top is super padded, so there's really not much else I'm going to be able to do on that. I think this is really well done. I'm going to now get it closed up, and I'm going to apply a couple of rounds of tape, one here and one here, just to keep the box in place, and then put the bubble wrap on top of that. So first, let me just close up the box and put a couple of rounds of tape on this box. Okay, so she's packed up. As you can see, I have closed up all the openings everywhere. There's not a single opening anywhere that's not been closed up. Maybe here, this is the only place. So I'll just close that up with a bit of tape. I mean, it's a bit OCD, but it's okay. I like to have the security of sending out a guitar, using my 100%, whatever I can do, I'd like to do that. I don't want to be in a situation where something happens with the guitar and it's because of my shoddy packaging that the guitar reached them in a bad condition. There's certain cases where I've, sent out some amazingly packed stuff and it's reached with a bit of a ding, thanks to the postal services, the courier services, and I hadn't taken insurance. That was a lesson. Never going to deal with that person again, and always going to state at buyer's risk and cost whenever I'm sending it out. Also, I'm going to definitely only use a service that provides insurance for the larger ticketed items. Okay, as you can see, it's covered up perfectly. There's nothing getting inside this box. Now I'm going to put 3 rounds of bubble wrap. Now, why would you need to put 3 rounds of bubble wrap on the box? Because there's already bubble wrap inside. Well, I want to be absolutely sure that the box also reaches in a good condition. If the box reaches in a decent condition, then the guitar has some hope to reach in a very decent condition. So for me, this is really important that I use the best materials and I use the most amount of bubble wrap that I can for sending out an item, especially in India via one of the local courier services. So now on to the next part, where I'm going to basically put 3 rounds of bubble wrap on this box and then cover it up with brown tape. All right, so I wanted to show you the end result before putting brown tape all over the bubble wrap. As you can see, there are 3 layers, well, mostly 3, 2.5 maybe in some places, but it's basically solidly padded up now. With the added layer of tape also, it's going to make it a little bit more secure. I've added some extra bubble wrap at the bottom and at the top again, because these are the 2 most vulnerable points on a package like this. So I'm very, very finicky about making sure that these 2 areas are properly packed up and are safe. So now I'm just going to put brown tape. I've got another round of brown tape coming up. It's a lot of brown tape. It's a lot of bubble wrap. But that's the cost of sending out a guitar securely. You've got to spend a little bit of money on the packaging items. You can't just put it in a box and ship it out. It's not fair to the buyer. So please put in that extra effort. Now I'm just going to tape this whole baby up. 1 whole roll and a little bit more of brown tape later. Here we go. This baby's wrapped. Mummy's wrapped. Wrapped. Ready for Egypt. I've done a spectacular job, I think. It's an Egyptian job, baby. You have the, what is it? The Italian job. Now you have the Egyptian job here in India. Now, after this, I'm probably going to use this size of paper for the addresses. Keep them right here in the middle, okay? And above this, I will stick a fragile sticker. I'm going to do this on all sides, okay? Probably there. And then on the sides as well as the back, all right? That's really, really important to make sure they know which way is up, okay? And the more the merrier, as they say, for fragile stickers. The more the merrier. You don't want to land up in a situation where you have some fellow putting it upside down. I've had that experience once. This guy basically came to my doorstep with a guitar turned upside down, and that was not nice. And that guitar, of course, was not accepted by me. It was an Amazon seller, and I sent it back. Got my refund also, so thank God. So yeah, so fragile stickers on all 4 sides, as you can see. All right. At the back, I'll put my address. And on the front, I will put the address I'm shipping it to. I will also, in the case of delivery, put the AWB number on this piece of paper as well, so they accept it. And tomorrow, supposing something goes wrong, at least they can look back upon the parcel itself and look at the AWB number to make sure they know where it's going. It's also a very important point to weigh your guitars after they've been packed up properly. Don't do this before adding the bubble wrap and the tape. You want to basically have everything in place and then take the weight of the guitar. In this situation, it's 6.94 kilograms. And you would also need to take the dimensions of the guitar, especially when you're sending from delivery. All right. In the case of speed post, they will definitely stick one of those stickers on, which has one of those barcodes which they can scan later, and they can check where it's supposed to go to. So I hope this video has been useful. Again, it's going to be costly. Yes, I know. There is a market. Definitely, all you manufacturers, there is a market for shipping boxes for guitars, for acoustic guitars, for electric guitars here in India. I would say between the 500 to 750 rupee mark, where you get a double box where the acoustic guitar can sit in with some maybe foam, keeping it in place, some additional padding, and then we just put bubble wrap on top of the box. If the outer box is already padded enough and maybe not made out of cardboard, but has like a kind of a waterproof kind of a sealing on that, I think that may be a game changer, and it'll prevent a lot of wastage. Like all this bubble wrap and all this tape is going to go to waste. So, it's always better to have these kinds of innovative, eco-friendly solutions coming out in the marketplace. And yes, this is the best that I can do from my end, and I'm very, very sure that bar from someone throwing this off the first floor or the second floor of a moving train or of a building, I'm sure this thing is going to survive and reach Shem perfectly. Shem, enjoy your guitar. Hope this video has been useful, and keep referring back to it whenever you're shipping out a guitar. So just make sure that you pack it with a lot of love and care and it reaches perfectly. Yes, you're going to use a lot of bubble wrap and tape, but that's the cost of an Egyptian job.